out in the landscape today to take a special look at irrigation water. I'm with Peterson, Extension Educator, and we're going to take a close look at all the techniques.
That's right, John. A lot of times at the start of the season, we just turn our system on and hope that it hits everything. There's actually a lot of control that we can take over our irrigation system to make sure that we're hitting all parts of the lawn just right and not having too much runoff into a sidewalk or a driveway.
You know, if we do that well, we're going to save as many gallons as possible while providing for the needs of the turf, the landscape in general.
And we can do that with something as simple as a tuna can.
All right, we're going to take a good closer look at this and kind of look at some of the nuts and bolts in order to be efficient. The first thing, and kind of a multi-step process here, first thing is to make sure you mow the lawn so none of the excess turf is in the way. And then the next step is to run each head, or each zone actually, so you can find out exactly where to put the measuring cups. And then you want to take a couple of different types of cups if you got them, but again, as Ian said, simple tuna can works great. These are maybe a little bit easier to read, but it's certainly good either way. And set those about 3 feet away from the head. That way you know you're not going to blow it over, but you'll still get a good reading. And then while the system is running, it's a great opportunity for you to just look at the system. You're going to look for heads that rise up perfectly, ones that aren't bent over a little bit, or some that are spraying out into the sidewalk or the street or the driveway. Those are going to need adjustment a little bit later down the road. So any flaws or inefficiencies are ones you're going to want to take a good look at. You're going to want to run each zone for about 15 to 30 minutes, and that way you can really get enough water in each of those collection cans in order to know what's the output and is it the same in every one of those cans. And that's really what we're looking for. And then you want to make sure that if there's an adjacent zone, in other words, one over there that feeds water into where you're looking at right now, that you run both zones at the one after the other, so that you can make a good adjustment based on how much water is collected. And then once you've collected those, you can find some paper and just simply write down, in can 1 I collected this much, in can 2 I collected this much, in can 3 I collected that much. And then what we're going to do is compare those amounts so that we can see how efficient the overall system is. All right, with all those measurements taken, you can really easily calculate the uniformity and the overall evenness of the application. Coming up in part 2, Ian's going to show us a little bit about how to make adjustments and make some improvements in the overall efficiency. So check that out.